Hi, Jeff with Minnesota Waterscapes here. Thanks for stopping by our channel. I wanted to show you today how we go ahead and do the fall netting on a pond. So the first thing we're going to do is measure across the pond so we know how much pipe to bring down from the van to create our tent to keep the net out of the water. The reason we do that is because when the net is held up and the leaves fall on it, the leaves stay dry and they blow off in the wind. Whenever we stretch a net across the water, the leaves fall in the net and it sinks and they get into the water, and then it just becomes a heavy mess to have to clean up, and we just want to keep that from happening. We want to keep the pond water as clean as we possibly can and tuck down all the edges so that leaves can't blow under also. Keep going, keep going.
So in this pond we're looking to do 2 diagonal pipes across the pond, which is why they're measuring across the pond like that. Well, it's different depending on every pond size, so this is what we're doing for this one.
And then you want to go actually come back towards the steamer. Alright, so what we did was we measured our pipes, we put them together. We use electrical Schedule 80 conduit plastic or PVC, and they come with a shoe in there, so you can just push them together very easily. Just like this. Just push them together. You don't have to glue them for what we're doing, and then you, depending on how your pipes need to be laid out, is where you would zip tie it. You don't want it really tight because you're going to end up twisting this. You just need it to hold together. So that's why we did this right here. Now we're going to walk this into the pond and set it up. So we've nestled the pipes into the rocks so that it'll help hold it in place. Then them working together will keep it somewhat straight as it's tossed about by the wind and the net. So I'm going to go, since I can reach it, I'm going to slide that up so that it's more straight up and down on both of them. So there we put a zip tie both directions to help hold it in place better. And then now we're going to go ahead and put our net over it. There's different ways that you can get nets. There's the small package, the medium package, the large package, which I believe is 21 by 26. Or what we use is we often use the bulk netting. It's 20 feet wide and 100 feet long, and we'll cut it to fit exactly how we want it for the pond that we're working on. We're going to stretch this out to cover the stream, waterfalls, and pond all in one big swoop so there's not a gap between the two.
So now what they do is, we'll start at the top, and as we go down we'll snip the little wires that hold it together. We have a couple different methods of sticking it into place. Here today we're just going to tuck it underneath rocks, and the rocks will hold it in place. They're getting underneath the first waterfall, so any leaves that fall into the wetland will get caught on it, but they're not actually covering the wetland. This leaves it open to do what it does naturally, and it's not as high of a risk for dead stuff falling in, / all of the plants don't need to be smothered. As they come down, they'll spread it out, stretch it out as tight as possible. The tighter they can get it, the better, because then leaves are less likely to weigh it down into the water. And then they'll start, if they do that, they'll start decomposing in the water, just like in the pond. We want to keep them out of the water as much as possible. So we've stretched the net down this far so far. Now we're about ready to start coming over the pond. We've tucked it under rocks like right here, and we've got a couple extra small rocks that we've used like right there to hold it in place, and we stretch it as tight as we can without it moving the rocks underneath it. That way when leaves fall on it, it doesn't fall in. Now we're transitioning from the waterfall to the pond area. We're working to right here, and I will give you an update in a few minutes.
So now that we have the net down, we've stretched it across. We put rocks around this one. There was enough smaller rocks to set on top of the net to hold it in place. Sometimes we'll use sod staples. They're metal, so you have to be super careful that you get beyond the liner. We've had some clients that have run the sod staple in and then they run it right through the liner, then they have a leak the next year. So you want to make sure you don't do that. On this particular one, we covered the entire stream. They don't get a lot of birds taking baths here, so we covered the whole stream. If you ever get to the point where you want to keep the stream open, you can tuck the net underneath the waterfall, and it will allow the water to be filtered through the net, and the leaves will catch on the net. One of the things nets can do is if birds do come and frequent your water feature, the birds can fly in, they'll fly and not see the net, they'll get stuck in it, and then they'll die. So you want to be aware that if you have a lot of birds visiting, you need to leave room for them to have a place to take a bath also. Let us know what questions you have about the water features and the netting, the fall, what you do. Remember, fall, when you put the nets on, is when the water temperatures are dropping. Once you get to around that 55 degrees, you need to switch to the cold water food, the cold water bacteria. It all comes around the same time. If you need those products, let us know. We can get them shipped out to you. Thanks for watching our show today. Have a great day. Hi, thanks for watching this video from Minnesota Waterscapes. Make sure you like and subscribe that video and give us a ring, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.